live stream, and we're ready to begin.
Good evening, everyone. I will be standing in for Sandy Vallis. He's under the weather. So thank you all for coming out, particularly on this very cold night. And I hope the lighting puts you in a good mood. This is as light as it gets. We'll begin this evening, as we always do, with the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, so if you can all rise, please. The flag is over here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay. I would like, please, a motion to adopt the agenda. Danielle, you got it? And a second, please. Jane, okay. All in favor? Okay. Thank you. Next, I need a motion to adopt the minutes. Ralph? Ralph. And a second, please. Oh, okay, here. All in favor? Thank you. All right. We're going to begin the public session, but first I would like to recognize Basil Kapitanakis, Assembly Member from Michael Tannousis' office, in the back. Okay. Police Officer Mina Gandor from the 68th Precinct Community Affairs Office. Nancy Rudin from Councilmember David Carr's office. And Susan Blair from the Fort Hamilton Army Garrison's Public Affairs Office. Okay, now I would like to welcome up Councilmember Kayla Santosuoso. Welcome to your first meeting, and thank you for being here.
That was perfect pronunciation, by the way. If you can't say Santosuoso, which I respect, you can always just call me Kayla or Councilmember Kayla. So don't stress about the Santosuoso. But she did perfect. It is an honor to be here in front of the Community Board 10, and I'm happy to be here for my first meeting in office. I just wanted to give you an overview of what you can expect in terms of reaching out to my office. We are already open in both Bay Ridge and Coney Island. We took over Councilmember Brannan's office on 82nd and 3rd, same location. So we're open Monday through Friday. Come in for whatever you need. And same phone number. Our email is heykayla@council.nyc.gov, and you'll get a response. But we're open and ready. We've already served hundreds of constituents, and so if you need us, you know where to find us. Just a couple things I wanted to share. We are doing the free tax prep again this year. There's no age limit. There's an income limit. If you want to inquire about that, just call into my office. We can get you on a wait list. Appointments are going to open soon on Mondays and Thursdays in the Bay Ridge office. We also have immigration services going on Tuesdays, free immigration services, so if anybody needs that, you can have them call our office and set that up. And then we have 2 upcoming dates that could be of interest. We have Department of Finance is coming to our office on Monday the 26th of January, and then we have Department of Buildings for any issues that you want to talk to buildings about on Wednesday the 28th. So we're already up and rolling. Contact us for whatever you need. It's an honor to serve and an honor to be in front of the board. I hope to be of help to you and hope to meet you if I haven't gotten the chance yet. Thank you so much.
Next, I would like to invite up Lori Windsor from Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis' office.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to let everyone know that our annual President's Essay Contest has opened. It's for grades 3, 4, and 5, open to students who live in the district. The theme is, what would you do to improve your community and or country? And it goes until the end of February. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Please welcome Maya Yedin from Senator Andrew Gounardis' office.
Thank you. I will be quick. We are doing tax prep with Councilmember Santosuoso Mondays and Thursdays, and as she said, we will be rolling out appointments and the flyer in the next couple days. We're also doing free tax prep at our Gowanus office for a few pop-up dates on Fridays in March, and we will roll that flyer out too very shortly. Once more, we're doing our Valentine's Day cards for seniors. Information is on our website, and cards must be received by Friday, February 6th, and we will distribute them to local senior centers and nursing homes. We have our continued mobile office hours at Kayla's office on Thursdays. I am there. And we do mobile office hours at the Brooklyn Heights Library the first Wednesday of the month in the afternoon, and the ever-popular No Soliciting Allowed is back. It's on the table out there. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. And please welcome Colonel Misty Cantwell and Sergeant Major Riding from Fort Hamilton Army Garrison.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy New Year. Thank you to everybody who came out for our holiday market in December. I know it was a long time ago, but I didn't have an opportunity to thank you and the community for your support. Just a couple of highlights. One, if you're a community club member, the club is open. We started brunch back up along with a couple other community events. They're all advertised on the social media page. And then two, we're really excited, especially given the venue this evening, to announce virtual golf. So if you feel the need to get your swing on, please look at our social media page, our MWR page. You can sign up. You do not need to be a club member. You do not need to be a service member or service connected. And Ms. Blair has the flyers in the back for access to post and coordination for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, welcome Marissa Briglia from the Diker Beach Golf Course. Is she? Oh. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Diker Beach Golf Course. I'm the Community Engagement Director and the Regional Tournament Director for American Golf Corporation. We are excited to be hosting Community Board 10 and the constituents here tonight. Since I've taken on this role, I've made it a goal to listen to and address our neighbors' concerns and needs. The main concern that I was approached with was the interior and exterior fence line trash and dumping that was taking place. We therefore started a hotline where neighbors can report either a large amount of trash or dumping if they see it. All calls are answered by yours truly and reported to the appropriate department. There are designated zones and hotline signs along the exterior fence for reporting purposes. I've also hosted management cleanup days, and we hired a dedicated employee that focuses on trash removal. Obviously, this trash wasn't ours to begin with, but we have taken on the responsibility to do something about it moving forward. Dumping is a problem in this neighborhood, and hopefully we can make our community a cleaner, more walkable place. In addition, we listened to the concerns about the errant golf balls along 7th Avenue. We pushed for a large net that will help protect both cars, the road, and pedestrians alike. The net was constructed about 2 months ago and has already helped rectify this ongoing issue. On a fun note, we've also opened our doors several times throughout the year to local schools and children in our community. In partnership with different programs, we've hosted field trips where children are able to learn and play golf, and our annual Gift of Giving, where 200 students enjoy a day of fun, food, entertainment, and gifts. Once again, we are happy to have you at the course tonight. Feel free to directly contact me with any questions or concerns about the golf course and the neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, David Kupferberg from the Brooklyn Bus Redesign, Network Redesign? Oh, okay. Then from Passengers United. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is David Kupferberg, and I am a member of Passengers United. Passengers United is a Section 501c3 nonprofit, nonpartisan transportation advocacy group. Go to www.passengersunited.org for details and our counter proposal of the MTA bus network redesign. Our goal is to advocate for transportation issues based on what the people want, not what we think the people want. The Brooklyn Bus Network Redesign Draft Plan released December 2022 received an overwhelming negative response. In fact, none of Brooklyn's 18 community boards support the draft plan. We think the MTA should delay the proposed final plan in favor of a new draft plan. At the same time, the MTA should invest 1% of New York City Transit's operating budget, or $126 million, for the Brooklyn Bus Network redesign. One of the purposes of express bus service since inception in the 1970s was, is, and will always be to complement the subway, not compete with it. But when express bus service was first established, the fare was double the subway base fare. So for starters, the base fare for express bus service should be lowered from $7.25 to $6 to encourage ridership. The 7-day rolling express bus fare cap should be lowered from $67 to $57. To the MTA and their service planners, get to know the neighborhoods before you come to the public. Go back to the drawing board. And we have flyers on who we are in the back. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Jessica Kahlo from Borough President Antonio Reynoso's office.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jessica Callow. I'm from the Borough President's Office. Happy New Year, everybody. I have a little bit of an announcement, so bear with me. Okay, so we have community board application season is up. So if you haven't reapplied or if you're planning to apply, the deadline is February 6th. Please apply, especially if you're 16 and you're interested. We're looking for young members. We want our youth to get more involved. We have 2 spots on a community board that can go to 16-year-olds, so definitely apply. We have this Divine Dwellings program, if you haven't heard of it. Brooklyn Houses of Worships are invited to join a free year-long program on affordable housing development. The Fast Track Cohort program features free technical assistance provided by Bricks and Mortals, a grassroots membership organization empowering faith-based organizations in New York City to maximize their building and property to serve their communities. Let me know if you're interested in that. Brooklyn College is partnering with our office. We're partnering with Brooklyn College for prenatal mental health online graduate courses. If you're interested in that, please come see me. I have a whole bunch of flyers about it, or visit our website. Democracy on Your Block, Brooklyn's community boards, inside Brooklyn's community boards. Tomorrow, January 21st, I'm sure I don't have to tell you guys about that, because if you look at this flyer, you'll notice Josephine's face on it. So we're so excited. Center of Brooklyn History is doing that Josephine's a part of it, so please attend if you can. It's tomorrow night. And last but not least, if you're interested in our ULURP schedule, our ULURP schedule for the year is online. So let me know if you have any questions. Thank you very much.
Before I close the public session, I would like to remind everyone here that if you have any comments that you would like to make about anything on this evening's agenda as a member of the public, you should do so now. And if you haven't already signed in and there's no one who would like to make a comment, I will close the public session. Okay. All right, next is a presentation from Ali Boyvab, from the Community Affairs. He's a Community Affairs Associate from the New York City Department of Consumer and Worker Protection. He would like to present on free tax prep program. Oh. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So it turns out that I don't need to introduce as much because our elected officials already did. So my name is Ali. I'm with the Community Affairs Department at the Department of Consumer and Worker Protection. I'm here to quickly share some information about our free tax prep program, a season that we're all super stoked about. But DCWP wants to make it easier for everyone. So that's why we partner with elected officials. We partner with local nonprofits to offer over 140 sites where you can file your taxes free of cost. There are certain eligibility requirements, which is why I wanted to have a chance to speak with you guys. If you're single, the income limit is $68,000. If you are single or have a family with dependents, that income limit raises to $97,000. But we also help small business owners with expenses of less than $250,000. So why did we start this program? We started this program to help build wealth for New Yorkers, particularly our working class New Yorkers and our small business owners that are out there. So I really want you guys to explore. I'm going to leave some of the flyers on the table. Explore the brochure and share it with people who you think could use the service. You know, I'm going to try to keep it short, but the program really started because we were seeing so many predatory tactics in the commercial tax prep industry. People giving, a lot of tax preparers will charge a portion of the refund, for example, numbering in thousands many times. For people, this is the largest paycheck they're going to get. So we want to make sure you all get to keep most of it. New Yorkers can keep most of it. That's how the program started. But yeah, there are various ways of accessing our tax prep session. So first is in person. You can also drop off your tax files. An expert preparer will fill it up, and then you can go pick it up. You can also do it virtually, for example. So I'm going to leave the brochure down there. You can call 311 for more information, or you can just also go to our online website to find more information about how to access free tax prep. All right, thank you so much, everybody.
Okay, we'll begin the public hearings now. The first is Chris Ellison, Police and Public Safety. Thank you, Chris. Watch that. Oh, I'm sorry.
Good evening, everybody. The Police and Public Safety Committee meeting was held on January 12, 2026. The meeting was a hybrid meeting. There were 2 items on the agenda. One was for a new SLA wine beer cider license for Hana Sushi, located at 524 86th Street. Next was a presentation by the 6th Precinct Crime Prevention Officer, Daniel Boyle, on scams. First item, new SLA wine beer cider license for Hana Sushi, located 524 86th Street. The owner applicant, Mei-Xing Chi, was present at the district office. This is a new owner and is a relative of the previous owner of Hana Sushi, with no change in the method of operation. Hours of operation will be Sunday through Thursday, 11:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 11:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. The location has been operating as a restaurant for several years, and there is no adverse history at this location. The restaurant will have background recorded music. There will be no outdoor use. The restaurant has 11 tables with 36 seats. The applicant did provide a certificate of occupancy, a menu, and schematics of the location. A motion was made to deny the applicant unless they agree to the following stipulation. The premise will operate as a restaurant. There will be no sale or consumption of alcohol on the premises until the appropriate license is issued by the State Liquor Authority. Applicants will not serve or allow bring-your-own booze until their license is obtained. The owner and manager will be on-site during all hours of operation. The hours of operation will be Sunday through Thursday, 11:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m., Friday, Saturday, 11:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. There will be no smoking permitted. There will be no outdoor use. There will be no outdoor music. The doors and windows shall remain closed with any amplified music. Background recorded indoor music sound levels remain below the level permitted by the New York City Noise Code. There will be at least 20% visibility view into the establishment at eye level. Once the State Liquor Authority license is obtained, the community board may call upon the applicant to address any concerns that may arise. The applicant agrees that should it change its method of operation, it will give notice and meet with the community board committee at least 45 days in advance of any such change. The applicant agreed, and the motion passed unanimously in favor. So, any questions? I'll call it. All those in favor, please signify. In favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Recusals? Motion passes. I'll come back later.
Okay, the next public hearing, I'm up. So switching hats onto zoning and land use. All right, the Zoning and Land Use Committee met in virtual quorum on January 8th, 2026 at 7 p.m. in a hybrid format to continue its review of the proposed rezoning of 9201 4th Avenue from a C82 to a 44D with a mapped mandatory inclusionary housing area. The applicant and consultant team were present to address outstanding questions and concerns raised during the committee's prior discussion. The applicant and his team are here this evening as well for additional questions. It's a little bit long, but we want to do our due diligence, particularly because this is an upzoning. So I'm going to go through this as sort of a question and answer, what the committee questioned, the team and the applicant's responses, and then the committee's reasons for making the motion. Okay. So regarding affordability, committee members asked whether the project could exceed the required MIH level and provide more than 25% affordable units, citing other projects that increased affordability through negotiation. The applicant stated that the proposal already includes approximately 25% permanently affordable units, which is about 24 of the 97 total units. The affordable units are largely family-sized, consisting of 5 one-bedrooms, 15 two-bedrooms, and 4 three-bedrooms. The team explained that increasing the affordable share would require smaller unit sizes and would undermine the project's financial feasibility. They emphasized a strong unmet demand for 2-bedroom units and the scarcity of larger affordable apartments in the district. The committee asked them why city planning encouraged a C4 4D zoning district rather than an R8A with a commercial overlay. The team explained that city planning initially discussed an R8A equivalent, but ultimately encouraged C4 4D to preserve the area's commercial corridor character while still allowing residential use and affordable housing. They noted that the C4 4D is functionally equivalent to R8A in terms of residential bulk while maintaining flexibility for commercial activity along 4th Avenue. Members asked whether there is a minimum or maximum amount of commercial space and raised concerns about future development if the property were sold after rezoning. The team confirmed there is no minimal commercial requirement and that the zoning district allows substantial commercial use, though the applicants stated their intention is to build exactly what has been presented. It was behind me before. The committee reiterated its standing concern that a rezoning applies to the property regardless of ownership and that a future owner could pursue a materially different project. This is probably the #1 concern for the committee. Members questioned why rezoning a single lot would not constitute spot zoning. The team stated that the site has a strong land use rationale that allows it to stand on its own without requiring the rezoning of the entire block. The site is physically and functionally unique with 3 street frontages. It sits on a commercial corridor, it is connected to higher density residential zoning to the north, and it has strong transit access which supports residential use at greater density. The committee raised concerns about sewer capacity and flooding, particularly in light of recent storm events and backups in CB10. The team stated that residential sewer demand would be comparable to, and in some cases less than, a fully utilized commercial or medical building. They noted the existing building historically contained heavy plumbing and restaurant uses. While DEP has not yet been consulted for the specific project, they explained that new construction is subject to modern stormwater detention requirements, including rooftop systems that better manage runoff than the existing grandfathered structure. They also noted that recent flooding events are often driven by extreme flash storms rather than daily system capacity. Committee members asked how the new building would relate to the existing structure, particularly along 92nd Street. The architect explained that the building would maintain a 7-story street wall on 92nd Street, consistent with the existing structure, then step back approximately 15 feet before rising. Along 5th Avenue, the design includes multiple setbacks exceeding zoning requirements, which the team stated would mitigate bulk and shadow impacts. Incremental shadow impacts were described as minimal. Members asked about green roofs, solar requirements, and potential geothermal systems, particularly given proximity to the subway. The team stated that the building will comply with New York City requirements through a combination of solar installations and landscaped roof areas. Geothermal use would depend on soil testing and thermal conductivity studies. Any subsurface work would require review and monitoring under MTA protocols due to the nearby subway line and historic firehouse. The applicant clarified that the MTA has not been approached at this stage because the MTA does not accept consultation without an authorized project and a defined subsurface scope to review. They stated that the MTA review and monitoring would occur if the project moves forward. Am I blocking some of it? Okay. All right, speakers, the committee, actually this is the public now, asked why converting the building from commercial to residential is in the community's interest and what would occur if the rezoning were denied. The applicant described the building as long vacant, deteriorated, and an eyesore. Actually, the word eyesore came up so many times. They stated the proposal would replace blight with housing, including affordable units on a site well suited for density. The applicant did not identify a specific alternative redevelopment plan should the rezoning be denied, beyond stating that prior prolonged efforts to reuse the property for commercial purposes had not been successful and that residential redevelopment is the only viable path under current market conditions. Several speakers raised concerns about traffic, pedestrian safety, and the presence of a school, bus routes, and a firehouse at the intersection. The team stated that the intersection is fully signalized with pedestrian intervals and is not designated as a Vision Zero high crash location. They noted residential use generally generates fewer vehicle trips than a fully tenanted commercial building and emphasized transit access nearby. They also explained that new construction requires sidewalk, crosswalk, ADA ramp, and drainage improvements. The applicant clarified that the only vehicle entrance is on 5th Avenue, with the residential lobby on 4th Avenue. Any 92nd Street access would be pedestrian storefronts only. Some speakers questioned whether added density truly has no impact and expressed concern that new market rate units could raise neighborhood costs despite the inclusion of affordable units. The team acknowledged these concerns, reiterated that affordability is governed by MIH requirements, and noted that setbacks and design measures were intended to mitigate density-related impacts, though broader concerns about neighborhood affordability were not directly addressed. Speakers asked whether the building would reduce light for nearby homes. The applicant stated that shadow impacts would be minimal due to limited additional height and multiple setbacks that exceed zoning requirements. Just as a reminder, this is proposed as an 11-story building. Following the committee's questions and the public discussion, the Zoning and Land Use Committee reiterated that it approaches all upzoning requests with caution, particularly because a rezoning applies to the property regardless of ownership and may allow future development that differs materially from what is presented if the site is sold or transferred. The committee specifically noted past experiences where zoning approvals were followed by changes in ownership and substantially different outcomes. These concerns were explicitly weighed as part of the committee's deliberation. Notwithstanding these concerns, the committee concluded that this application presents a distinct and limited circumstance that merits different consideration from typical upzoning requests based on the following factors. One, its long-term vacancy and deteriorated condition, the unusual size and configuration of the site, the corridor and bridge approach context, because the property functions within a commercial corridor and bridge approach environment rather than a traditional residential side street. Proximity to transit and appropriateness for density, the inclusion of permanently affordable housing, city planning guidance and housing policy context. In other words, the applicant stated that city planning encouraged the use of the C4-4D zoning district for this location. The modern infrastructure and stormwater controls, required public improvements like the sidewalk reconstruction, the ADA compliant curb ramps, crosswalk upgrades, and drainage improvements. The building massing and setback mitigations, and traffic impacts relative to as-of-right use, meaning that the residential use near transit is likely to generate fewer vehicle trips than the commercial or medical uses, and explicitly site-specific determination. The committee emphasized that its support is based on the unique conditions of this site and should not be interpreted as a precedent for other properties or future upzoning requests. Therefore, based on the foregoing considerations, the Zoning and Land Use Committee moves to recommend approval of the proposed rezoning of 9201 4th Avenue from a C82 to C4-4D with mapped mandatory inclusionary housing. Okay, we had only a virtual quorum, so I would need a second from the floor. Okay. All right. Any discussion? Okay, I had Danielle first. Oh, do we have a?
Hi, thank you. I think my main question, this is probably something you discussed in the meeting, was if it were to be utilized by somebody else, how many stories would it be approved for? Like what could be the range of change in its projected use? Or
If I remember correctly, this is a 135-foot building, is that correct? 130, I'm sorry, and the maximum height would be 45. So it would be an additional, it could go up an additional 15 feet. Did I do my math right? Yes. And how many stories would that be? One story, one more, 12 stories instead? Okay, thank you. We had Romeo first. Please.
Thanks. Sanitation questions. Is it going to be picked up on the Fifth Avenue side?
I don't know. Do you
If
have an
that's where the
answer?
parking lot is, that makes sense, but I don't think residents want the garbage on the Fourth Avenue side.
The team says yes.
And second question, what was this?
Oh. Did you have a second question? No, okay. Larry had his hand up. Did you? Yes, okay.
This project is going to entail the demolition, complete demolition, raising the existing building, or are they going to use any components of the existing building in the new building?
The existing building would be just
Completely
taken down,
erased.
but except for the foundation.
Obviously for the foundation, but the whole.
And I'm sorry? The parking, the parking
There is a
would,
parking lot underneath there, isn't there?
would remain as is? Wait, we'll give you the microphone, please. I'd rather you answer more accurately.
The foundation will be kept, but the parking structure would be rebuilt and redone.
Okay, thank you. Did you remember your second question? Romeo, please.
It was about parking. How many spaces are going to be available?
Were there any other questions, discussions, concern? Carmen on this side? Thank you.
I just want to say thank you to you and your committee, because when you're on a different committee and you have to rely on your peers to do presentation, I always feel like you do a very thorough job. And so,
thank you.
And so it makes a big difference when it comes to having to vote for these things, because you have a lot more knowledge than we do for some of these things, but I also have a lot of faith and trust in your committee, so thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to reiterate that the committee does not take this lightly. You know that as a community board, any upzoning. And this is a substantial project and change to the area, but for the reasons enumerated earlier, the committee approved. Are there any other questions? Dino.
You said they're focusing on family-sized apartments. I'm just wondering how big is like a two-bedroom? Because I know a lot of the newer construction has pretty small rooms. And then also my second question is just like, how is this going to affect like property taxes in the surrounding like rental market in general? Because things are just getting really unaffordable in that area.
Well, the first question, I think the team, I don't remember the square footage on each of those. It does vary, of course, because there's 1 to 2, 3-bedroom and no studios.
Yeah, the square footage varies on the apartments. We have several different layouts, but the square footage sizes are most of the apartments are between 600 and 1,000 square feet.
So 1,000 square feet would be the max. So like a 3-bedroom would be.
We actually have some apartments actually over, but most of them are within that range. There's a few apartments over 1,000.
Okay, is there any way we can like see like what? Okay.
So the response, just for the purpose of the recording, that there, several apartments do exceed 1,000 square feet, but I'm sorry, what? The majority of the apartments are between 600 and 1,000 square feet. So I didn't want to misspeak. And I don't know which of the slides shows the schematics. As to the property tax question, I do not have a response to that, and it was raised about the affordability or the pressure on market prices. We do not have an answer for that, but it is a concern. And then Danielle has another question.
I guess in terms of the affordability apartments, are those going to be the same dimensions as the apartments that are market rate? And then also, like, do you have a sense yet of what that range is for affordability, or not yet until like in terms of like rents and?
Oh, was this an option one? It was option one, okay, so.
So thank you for the question. So two things. The first is that the mandatory inclusionary housing program, one of its benefits is that the units have to be interspersed in the building in the same ratio as the units generally in the building. So if you have 25% ones, 50% twos, and 25% threes, the affordable units would similarly track that in terms of the number of units, as well as the sizes, as well as the location within the building. The idea behind the program is that they not put all the affordable units as studios on the ground floor. Correct, yes. As far as rents of those units, the HPD publishes on their website for most recently 2025 what the rents would be. The building is at option 1 has an average of 60% of average median income. So the rentals for the 60% AMI, which you'll see on average, for a 1-bedroom, the average would be $1,800. For a 2-bedroom, the average would be $2,100 and change, and for the 3-bedroom, it would be $2,500. And that's an average, so you would expect that about 5% would be at 80% AMI, but 10% actually, or 10% would be at 80 AMI, but 10% would also be at 40% AMI. So the option 1 carries with it that requirement that 10% of the units in the building be at what would be considered to be, very low affordability. Yeah.
Thank you, Richard. Any other questions? Oh, Jane. Wait for the microphone.
Thank you. So just to clarify, when we're looking at the pictures of the existing structure that's here, so we're looking at that existing building plus the parking lot that faces 4th Avenue, is that part of this as well? Or is that existing parking lot part of the Harbor Fitness development? I just wanted to be clear.
It's the it's the underground parking lot.
Okay.
And was there another part to that question? I'm sorry.
It does include what we see now as the parking area on 4th Avenue would be included as part of that parking for this new structure?
You're talking about?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that is included? Yes, thank you.
Ruth had her hand up.
I was just wondering what the rental prices will be for the non-reduced housing, for regular people.
Yeah, I don't have that in front of me. Market rate?
Market rate, yeah. What would I know there was a formula, because the other was X% less, so, but I don't remember.
Richard, do you have the? Yeah. Wait, can you wait for the microphone, please?
There's fixed rental prices for the affordable units. The idea with any of these properties is that they're not subsidized by the city. So the idea is that the market rate units are going to subsidize the affordable units. There's no public subsidy. So we would expect the market rate units would go for, essentially market rate. But there's no pricing in terms of what those units would be at.
Thank you. Thank you, Dorothy.
Just to know, there is a formula for the parking and the number of apartments, correct? Is that met? Is that formula met, or the ratio is met? That's one. The second thing, if they have a limited parking comparing to the number of apartments, is it first come, first serve? Is it going to be rented? Is it going to be given free?
That I don't know.
How does it work?
Okay. And then, can you speak to the parking requirements, especially under the City of Yes, and then the rest of the question? Thank you.
So, City of Yes reduced parking requirements in New York, so we do not have to provide parking here. We are providing parking here. The minimum spots will be 52. If it turns out to be an attended building, that could go up, but that's the minimum spots provided, but there's no requirement for us to provide them by zoning.
Can I just ask a question for clarification as well? There will be parking for the commercial component of this building? Is it separate and apart from the residential?
So the intent is, just to add to what George said, the intent is to reinstall the existing parking facility that's there back into the building. Currently, that is attended, and with stacked parking, and that gets you to about 200 to 210 cars that they can accommodate. If the demand is there, we'll go to the attended parking. What we're speaking to as far as the 56 or 58 spots is what we believe is required for the residential. But demand would drive if it's going to be attended or self-park.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate your explaining. Were there any other, oh, right here, Elizabeth.
Just on the 3 bedrooms, I appreciate that there are 3 bedrooms being included in this. I mean, there's a real dearth of them in the neighborhood. That being said, a 3-bedroom apartment of 1,000 square feet is very small for somebody raising a family. Maybe it's a little bit more, but that does seem quite small. So to the extent that, just as a comment for future development, if you're going to have a 3-bedroom, make it big enough that people can live there with their families, right? And then I would also add, there's obviously a need for middle-class housing in the neighborhood for families to stay here. So those would be 2 things. And then the third thing was, there are rumors that there's a Trader Joe's in the commercial area. I know there's demand in the neighborhood for that. I don't anticipate that's going to happen, but wanted to put a, if it could happen, it would be great. Thank you.
Thank you. Of course. Thank you, Dorothy.
Let me clarify, sorry. So we have 62 2-bedrooms and 16 3-bedrooms. We do have 3 bedrooms up to 1,200 square feet. So but the majority of the apartments are not 1,200 square feet. The majority are 1,000 or less, but we do have 3 bedrooms up to 1,200.
Thank you. Okay, any other questions? All right, I am going to call the question. Would you like me to repeat the motion? I mean, it's pretty straightforward. To approve, the Zoning and Land Use Committee recommends the approval of the proposed rezoning of 9201 4th Avenue from a C82 to a C4 4D. All in favor? Okay, any opposed? It looks like 2. Abstentions? Recusals? Okay, thank you very much. The motion passes. Okay. All right, next, except I'm not done, am I? Hold on. I don't need to get out. Okay. Oh, District Manager Beckman. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. I want to first offer our sincere appreciation to the Diker Beach Golf Course and Marissa Breglio, who spoke earlier, for their hospitality and providing this space. It's greatly appreciated, as well as the coffee and delicious treats, so thank you. Yes, Marissa, thank you again. I also want to just share with the members of the board that the district office is very happy that the Diker Light season is over, because we got lots of calls and discussion over the month of December. And I wanted to take a moment to thank the mayor's office, the street activity permit office, as well as the 68th precinct. I know Officer Gandor is here, and he was like my right-hand person. Anytime there was an issue or community concern, he was on speed dial. So we are very grateful for the work of the officers for the season. It was very cold and the weather was inclement, but we plan to have a tentative recap meeting to talk about the event and perhaps improvements for next year. So with the return of snow, gratefully it was only a few inches. We also extend our appreciation to the Department of Sanitation, who works to clear our streets and also collect our refuse, and things were a little bit behind for the holiday. And we appreciate our relationship with DSNY. The district office received many calls today regarding a story that appeared in a New York NIMBY.com publication regarding a 5-story mixed-use building that's being planned for 7924 13th Avenue in Diker Heights. Zola, which is the land use tool provided by the Department of City Planning, provides the following addresses for the 2 lots that we believe were mentioned in that article, which are 7916 and 7912 13th Avenue. The block is zoned for, as an R5B, which is a residential district popular in Community District 10. There are currently no plans filed with the Department of Buildings for this location. The board has also not yet been notified of any pending demolition. However, many questions have been raised from local residents about the proposed height that was referenced in the article, which is zoned as an R5B. Before the passage of the City of Yes, zoning changes, the maximum building height in that zoning district was 33 feet. Town center zoning and transit-oriented district portions of City of Yes do increase that height and bulk within the zoning district. And I will provide more information as we receive it. We were expecting some residents to come from Dyker Heights today, but I just wanted to share that with you, that there were questions regarding that article and the upcoming demolition of that property along 13th Avenue. The district office did receive demolition notices for 445 through 437 Ovington Avenue, which is the future site of our new public high school. And we also received a demolition permit for 571 66th Street, which is a small one-family house on a on a larger type lot, but there have no plans that have been filed with the Department of Buildings. Demolition permits in the City of New York, notification is required to the community board. So as we receive them, we will certainly share and post them on our website for information. The New York City Department of Transportation sent us a letter the other day to share with members of the board that a traffic light has been approved for the intersection of Ridge Boulevard at 74th Street, and neighbors there have actually requested a study there for some time, so we were happy to hear that it did meet the warrants for a traffic signal at that location. The Department of Youth and Community Development, DYCD, has opened its Summer Youth Employment Program for young people ages 14 to 24 who are residents of one of the 5 boroughs, and it's a really great program. Community Board 10 usually participates in it. The deadline to apply, if you have any friends or family or neighbors, is February 27th of 2026, and we will post information on our website as well. The Department of Homeless Services also notified the board that they will be conducting again this year its annual homeless outreach population estimate. They do seek local volunteers, so if anyone is interested, they are conducting the count on Tuesday, January 27th. And our board will be hosting, and I had it here, let me just... Everyone is invited on January 27th. We're partnering with NYU Langone and New York City Smoke-Free Partnerships on the health impacts of vaping. So we have a joint committee hearing. It was a very popular forum we held a number of years ago. We hear from local parents all the time, and we also invited all of our local high schools and middle schools for young people to attend this important forum, and we're excited about it. And that will be on Tuesday, January 27th. It will be a hybrid meeting, so if you can't attend in person, it'll be available on Zoom and certainly to watch afterward on YouTube. And our next Community Board 10 meeting will take place on Monday, February 23rd at the Fort Hamilton Senior Center at 7 p.m. Respectfully submitted. Thank you.
Thank you. And now Shirley Chin with the Treasurer's Report.
Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year. Community Board 10 Treasurer's Report as of December 31st, 2025. Total personal services, $140,474.39. Total other than personal services of $5,002.19. Leaving an encumbered budget balance of $152,283.42. Thank you.
Okay. Henry Stewart is not able to be here this evening, so we will waive the reading of the Parks Committee report, and it will be available to you in the minutes. So we'll proceed with Ruth Greenfield Meiser with the Older Adult Issues, Housing, Health, and Welfare Committee.
Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. And so we had a meeting of the Older Adults Issues, Housing, Health, and Welfare Committee, and we were we met with people from Maimonides Hospital, and they came to update us on what's happening with the hospital. Basically, because of financial reasons, Maimonides Hospital is going to be merging with New York City Health and Hospitals. What that means is New York City Health and Hospitals are all the city hospitals throughout New York City. And I think that one of the issues is that private hospitals don't get the funding that the public hospitals get. And in addition, Maimonides Hospital is the biggest safety net hospital in Brooklyn. And what that means, a safety net hospital is a hospital that takes not only, but takes a lot of Medicare and Medicaid patients. And the issue is that they don't get the same amount of money that they get for private patients, people with private insurance. So as it turns out, there will be a $2.2 billion state net transformation grant that'll go over a 5-year period. And this will be available to Maimonides as part of an ongoing partnership with New York City Health and Hospitals. In addition, Maimonides will receive $100 million in annual income for several years. It's expected that this partnership agreement, which is also known as an asset transfer, will be finalized as early as April 1st, 2026. Now, the big question is, what about the patients? How will they be impacted? First of all, Maimonides will keep its name. It will continue to take all the same health insurances that it takes now. And the expectation and the planning is for patients to not feel the impact of the change, and for the community to not feel the impact of the change. So they did tell us about the advantages that they anticipate in addition to an inflow of funds. They're looking forward to being integrated into the MyChart and EPIC programs, which are electronic medical integration record systems. It allows all the hospitals to see everything they have to see about patients, and this should be a big help. And it also will allow New York City Health and Hospitals, other hospitals, to take advantage of the specialty care that Maimonides Hospital has for its own patients. So this was a very informative session, and we thank them for coming, and hope that these will all be positive changes for all of us. Thank you. Yes.
1 second, 1 second.
I'm just clarifying. From what I remember of the meeting, did they say they're the only children's emergency room in Brooklyn as well? Or was it, okay.
It's pretty amazing. Maimonides has done a lot of amazing things over the past few years. This past year, they opened the only dedicated children's emergency room in all of Brooklyn. The year before, they expanded their NICU department. And the year before that, I think it was in 2003, is when they opened the Bay Ridge Emergency Room that's at the old Victory Memorial Hospital. So they're very expansive in a good way. They've expanded their services. They have a lot of specialty services, and they're big. They have over 80 locations in the city, 3 separate hospitals. They treat hundreds of thousands of patients and inpatients, outpatients, and we're very fortunate to have them close by in the neighborhood. And as I said in my last report, when they came to speak to us, they want us to know how to pronounce their name. Maimonides, the N is in the second syllable. Maimonides. Okay, thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
I'm sorry, I had just when you were talking, it made me remember also, they said the union wasn't going to change, and they'd also reached an agreement with their nurses, so their nurses are not on strike.
Oh.
So we asked them about the union and things and how that would impact the contracts they have with their different staffing. And also we asked about their staffing, and they were very reassuring about that as well. So it was a really good meeting. So I think you recapped it really well, but as you were talking, I was thinking of all the other good things they said.
Thank you for that. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Okay, next, Youth Services, Education, Libraries Committee. Pierre Lehoux. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. The Youth Services, Education, Libraries Committee met at a hybrid meeting on Tuesday, January 13th. There were committee members, Principal Sahir Saeed and his staff from PS 413, the Joanne Seminary School, and board member Jane Marie Kapitanakis joined the meeting either in person or at the district office or remotely over Zoom. We spoke about plans for a partnership with PS 413, the Joanne Seminary School of Law and Medicine. The idea is to engage the students in civics and teach them what it means to be a community. Now, students, of course, these are kindergarten and first graders. I reported that I decided to write a book for these students. Its title is, Why Was My School Named After Joanne Seminara? Because I figured they had no idea who she was. And in addition about teaching them who she was, and as you all know, she was our board chair and she was my late wife. It also is about what it is to be part of a community. So we discussed the meeting with the staff who are over Zoom and Principal Sayer, and I'm going to have a meeting with some of these staff members to see exactly how we as a whole can talk to these kids over time and give them an idea what community is. Jane Marie spoke about the existing programs that the public school system has with regards to teaching civics and how we should integrate the book and what we're going to do with that curriculum. So the book is almost ready. I've been proofreading it, going back and forth. I'm paying for this. I'm doing it over Amazon. And let's see how it works out. But I thought it was something important. Your school has a name, and what does it mean to these kids and to the parents as well? I also went, since this is the Libraries Committee, I went to my local library on Ridge Boulevard and 72nd and spoke to the director, who's Rita Mead, who used to be a member of the Community Board 10. She said she didn't need anything from us at this point. Everything's going splendid. But I said if there was anything we could do to help, to contact us, and we exchanged numbers, and who knows. So any questions or? No? Well then, oops. The enrollment currently, there's 2 kindergartens and 2 first grades, and every year they're going to double, so there'll be a 2nd grade and a 3rd grade, and it goes up to 5th grade. The medicine part, I mean, the name is a little weird, but the medicine part is there's a dental clinic run by NYU Langone, so all the students are going to get free dental, and I believe parents who want to learn how to be a dental assistant will also be taught that. The law part is still kind of up in the air, and I guess that's something I'll try to stick my nose in at some point as well. Jane Marie?
I'm not sure if our friends from the 6-8 precinct are still here, but that's also a wonderful way that we can really connect them to the school that's almost around the block from our precinct. And there are many events and things with the 6-8 Precinct Community Council that we could probably also join forces together to help bring that civics and community aspect to life. We want the children to understand that being civically engaged means that you are a community helper. You're helping your neighbor. And that's really the ultimate gift that we want them to know that Joanne gave to all of us. Thank you.
Absolutely. As I said, I'm going to meet with the staff, and then we'll see what they're already doing and what the civics program and, et cetera, and integrate the book and integrate all of us.
Thank you, Pierre. Next, Chris Ellison for the Police and Public Safety Committee.
So there's a second part of our agenda. It was a presentation by the 6-8 Precinct Crime Prevention Officer, Daniel Boyle, on scams. Hold on. Pages. Okay, in the 6-8 Precinct, there have been some email and telephone scams. P.O. Boyle started off by telling us of an anatomy of a recent scam that happened at the 6-8 Precinct. A person received an email from PayPal, which presented itself to look very official and legitimate. The email stated that she owed money and that she should contact PayPal at the number provided. The scammer told her to put $500 in the account to clear the charges. They recontacted her and told her there was an error and that she needed to put $5,000 into the account, and she did. They recontacted her and requested that she put more money in, and at this time she realized it was a scam. She told them, "This is a scam, and I'm going to report you to the police." She went to the precinct and reported this incident. The next day, she received another call from the scammers, telling her that this was the chief of detectives from the NYPD. The caller told her, "We read the report, and we want to catch these people, and they need your help. We want you to go to the bank and take out a couple of $1,000s in cash, and we will send a detective to your home and pick it up. We'll mark the bills, and the detective picking it up will tell you a code word, which is blue." The following day, the imposter came and gave her the code word, and she handed over the money, as was instructed, and off they went with the cash. The NYPD will never solicit funds for any operation, so she was scammed again. The way not to get scammed by false emails and calls is to go to the official websites or call the institution customer services, such as the IRS or banks, and question them on these emails and calls to see if they are legitimate. Do not call the numbers on the email or respond to the email or go to the links on the email, since these numbers go to the people who are trying to scam you. No institution will ask for gift cards, cash, or bars of gold. This method is used by scammers since these means of payments are difficult to trace. Scammers try to induce fear and a sense of urgency, like a relative being arrested or in an accident, and they need you to send money to release them or help them. If you receive these type of calls, call your relative, and most of the time they will probably say, "What are you talking about?" Another scam is a recent jewelry scams in the area where someone will drive up in your car and say, "I like your jewelry, would you like to see mine?" And will have you try on theirs as they steal yours. Also, people imitating Con Ed or DEP where they try to gain access to your home to check something. Be cautious and always verify. Call the utility companies to verify. If you feel you're being scammed, call 911 or go to the precinct and report it. Meeting ended about 7:30, respectfully submitted.
Thank you, Chris. Okay. Sure.
Just today, I received a call from Carbondale, Pennsylvania. I think he was a relative. I picked it up. And then I get this recording. I didn't answer say anything. And then the recording starts saying, we're calling to you about your $67,000 loan. I hung up right away. So they're around there.
I believe it. Okay. Is there any old business? Elizabeth?
A few months ago, I was up here talking about fewer motorcycles in the park, but more wild dogs in the park. There are so many unleashed dogs in Shore Road Park outside of off-leash hours. Often it's just a half hour after off-leash has ended, but sometimes it's 3 in the afternoon. Multiple giant German Shepherds running around Shore Road Park on a Saturday afternoon when kids should be able to play ball there, literally chasing the kids. There's going to be like a vicious cycle with the vicious dogs because people don't want to let their kids play in the park because there's dogs running around that are chasing them and the owners are not being responsible. So I brought it up with Josephine, but it keeps happening. So I know the 68th has left, but if maybe they hear this, there could be more enforcement of the off-leash dogs. I love dogs, but they need to be off-leash during the designated hours. It cannot be during times when there are small children playing. And there was a tragic situation in Manhattan a few weeks ago with a 1-year-old who was attacked. So, I mean, these things are not far removed from our concerns. So thank you.
Any other old business? New business? Anyone? All right. How about a motion to adjourn? And a second, and we're adjourned. Thank you all very much, and I hope your new year has started very well. Have a great month.